KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Are we still recovering from Fiesta?
Yes.
We are?
Yes, we are. It's May 2nd. It doesn't feel like May 2nd.
That's weird, too.
Thanks for joining us, by the way.
May 2nd.
Yeah. April went by like that, and I was getting spoiled. I mean, I know we had some rain, but we had some nice temperatures.
We're getting a good pattern, though. It seems like rain's starting to come a little more often, and the percentages are just a smidge higher than
Just a little bit. Here's the difference, though.
Okay.
Last week we had cold fronts that generated rain.
Yeah.
Both good things. This week it's just rain. We don't have the cold fronts, and so the temperatures are going to be...
Boo.
Tough crowd.
Wow.
The temperatures are going to be warm.
It's only Tuesday.
Humidity is going to be warm, man. It's just the way it is. We are headed into May. That's what you would typically expect. Let's go outside for you right now. You can feel the humidity. It came back in a big way last night. We've got cloudy skies as a result. And temperatures right now are sitting in the 70s. 70 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 66. Easterly winds at about 7 miles per hour. And pollen count is in. Mold is low. Grass is low. Oak is low. Pecan is low. So nothing to worry about there. We've kind of ended tree season. So now what we watch for are spikes in mold. And grass picks up a little bit too as we get into May. But nothing to worry about today. KSAT 12-hour forecast. So cloudy first half of the day. Then we see some peaks of sun this afternoon. Mostly cloudy. There's a small chance for shower, although I don't think we have to worry too much about that. Temperatures top out at 82. As we alluded to, there are some better rain chances down the line. Some storms potentially on Thursday. We'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes, but now let's get to Stephen because we've got some issues.
Yes, actually, this was just reported as I walked into the studio this morning. Justin, let's get a look there at 35 at Salms. You can just take a look there, guys. We actually have an overturned 18-wheeler, and first responders are out on the scene. This is actually just outside New Braunfels. I-35 northbound access road near Salms Road has been shut down, and no word yet on any injuries, but we do have New Braunfels police that appear to be on the scene. I haven't seen any paramedics arrive, so that's some good news. But you also notice that there's some white substance on there. I spoke to TransGuide just a few minutes ago. We believe that may be some form of absorbent out there because there may also be a spill. No word yet on what this 18-wheeler was actually carrying, but we are going to watch it very closely. Again, this is the northbound lanes. That's been shut down right now, and you can see a little bit more of that buildup now starting to take place on the map. Not a good situation. We're going to have to watch this very closely, but Tuesday morning, really, guys, has been riddled with a lot of problems. Let's get to some overnight news. We actually had an area off of I-35 not too far from Benzingelman and Bamsey that was shut down for several hours, according to San Antonio police. This is following a standoff which shut down the area. Now, according to police, this all happened just after 10, and we know that they received a call about a car that had possibly been in an accident on the city's northeast side. Now, according to police, when they arrived to the scene, they found a man inside, stopped in the middle of the northbound access road. Again, this was located between Brooke Army Medical Center and Rittiman Road. Some of the video that you see there was actually captured by a photojournalist, Azin Bermia, using the camera on top of one of our units. Now, police said the man had not actually been in a crash, but instead, for some reason, chose to stop there. That's when police say the man made threats to officers both at that time and later on the phone, and it took several hours before the situation was resolved and ended peacefully, but it did shut down the highway for several hours. And first responders have since reopened. But again, this was along 35, the access road, and that has cleared out. Looking at the map now, things are quiet for now, but we're going to have to keep a very close eye back over here just outside New Braunfels. 35 at Salms Road, you could see some of those first responders investigating the scene. And we do have that absorbent there. You could see it just underneath the truck. That is, again, because it does seem to be some sort of spill out there. We'll watch this very closely, and I'll have more updates. And if I need to jump back in again, I definitely will let our producer know. But other than that, the roads are clear, but just avoid 35 northbound there near Salms Road, guys.
All right. Thank you, Stephen.
And here's today's 9 at 9.
Congress and the White House have a new deadline to get a deal done to raise the debt ceiling. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen now says if they don't, the U.S. could default on its debt as soon as June 1st. House Republicans have passed a measure to raise the limit, but they're demanding spending cuts. President Biden says he won't negotiate on cuts as part of a debt ceiling hike.
The Federal Reserve is kicking off another two-day meeting today to consider whether to raise interest rates again. Experts widely expect the Fed to announce another quarter-point boost to interest rates in an effort to bring inflation down even more when the meeting wraps up tomorrow afternoon.
6 people killed, more than 36 people were injured after a rare dust storm swept through central Illinois, leading to a major pileup along an interstate. The National Weather Service says newly plowed farm fields contributed to all the dust.
The CDC has tracked a salmonella outbreak to a gold medal flour facility in Missouri. General Mills recalled 4 varieties of the flour last week. The recall includes 2 and 5 pound bags of bleached all-purpose flour and 5 and 10 pound bags of unbleached all-purpose flour with better if used by dates of March 27th and 28th of 2024.
Writers in Hollywood going on strike today after the Writers Guild of America failed to reach an agreement with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers yesterday. Writers have been trying to reach a new contract with studios as the industry shifts more into streaming. The strike means production of many television shows could come to a halt immediately, while the start of the new seasons of other shows may be delayed later this year.
Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae backed mortgages are about to get cheaper for some people, but more expensive for others. Changes the Federal Housing Finance Agency made to mortgage fees take effect this month. Borrowers with lower credit scores will see less of a penalty, and if your credit score is higher, you will see price tiers and, in some cases, increased fees. But homebuyers with lower credit scores will still pay more to obtain a Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac-backed mortgage than those with higher credit scores.
Starting next Thursday, federal employees will no longer have to be vaccinated against COVID-19. The policy will end on the same day the public health emergency for COVID-19 is set to expire. And starting on May 12th, non-U.S. travelers entering the U.S. will no longer be required to be fully vaccinated against COVID.
Free COVID-19 tests will not be guaranteed after May 11th, but there are still ways to take advantage of the benefits of the public health emergency before it expires. Pharmacies and other retailers have home tests, and costs may be covered upfront or reimbursed by insurance plans. There's also the federal website, covidtest.gov, that allow U.S. households to order free test kits for delivery. The site is still up and running, with 4 free tests available to any household that has not ordered since December.
Today is the last day of early voting for the city's general election. Residents will vote on the mayor, city council seats, and issues like Prop A and school bonds. Polls are open until 8 p.m. today. You can find your nearest polling location on KSAT.com, as well as other helpful information. And that's today's 9 at 9.
And like David just mentioned, school bond proposals are something that San Antonio residents will see on the ballot for this election.
You know your money goes toward the local district you live in, but do you know that that district pays for those bond projects, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars worth?
And that's why the KSAT Explains team dug into the topic in their latest episode. Not only how bonds are paid for, but what you need to know about the wording you see on the ballot this year that talks about property taxes.
I think that's confusing for voters and clearly an attempt to keep school districts from passing bonds.
You can watch KSAT Explain School Bonds right now on KSAT.com or our YouTube channel.
There has been a lot of frustration the last few days over one of Fiesta's biggest events, and now King William Fair organizers say they're working to fix the glitch with the cashless bracelets called the Blast Pass to prevent issues from happening again next year. People took to social media to express their frustration with long lines at the fair and how to connect their Blast Passes in order to buy food. In a lengthy statement, the organization explained Friday night's storm affected the main Wi-Fi hub, which then delayed the uploading of credits to the Blast Pass. Attendees say the lack of communication made things worse.
I think that if we had known that there were hiccups, we may have, held off this year.
King William Fair organizers say they are exploring other methods of payment for next year's fair.
And this is a critical week for the U.S. economy as both Wall Street and Americans look to the Federal Reserve for some clarity. The Fed has the option to pause or issue its 10th consecutive interest rate hike aimed at lowering inflation. So what does it mean for your finances? CNN's Cole Higgins has a closer look in today's Consumer Watch.
Weighing another potential interest rate hike amid mixed inflation data and growing banking turmoil as another bank fails. The Federal Reserve is meeting this week to decide next steps to tame stubborn inflation.
They need to get that down to their target, which is 2%. And the way to do that is to raise rates.
So what does the Fed's decision this Wednesday mean for your wallet? Some analysts expect the central bank to raise rates a 10th consecutive time, this time by a quarter point. If that happens, expect higher borrowing costs from car loans to mortgages.
If we got a personal loan, you're going to see your rate go up. A home equity line of credit, you'll see your rate go up. And of course, if you need to borrow money for anything like a new car.
Meanwhile, there's also the possibility that the Fed could pause its aggressive action to cool down the overheated economy. Experts say if that's the route the Fed takes, it could be a good opportunity for consumers who have been sidelined by rising interest rates.
This is definitely going to be treated by a lot of would-be home buyers as a sign that maybe now is the time to start that home hunt again.
No matter what Fed Chairman Jerome Powell announces this week, the decision will give us a clear indication about the Fed's plans for the rest of the year. So if you're planning to make major purchases in 2023, like buying a car or a home, this week's announcement could give you guidance about what you can expect in terms of borrowing costs. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
And rising prices aren't the only concern facing the economy. The Federal Reserve is facing questions about credit conditions following last month's banking turmoil.
And the latest drama with First Republic Bank revived those fears that tightening credit standards could make loans harder to get and help push the economy into a recession.
It is now 9:09, 70 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Everyone was waiting to see who would have the best outfits at the Met Gala last night, and some people did not disappoint. We're going to have highlights from the big night coming up.
Plus, Mother's Day is coming up fast. I hope you've checked your calendar, and I hope you know when it's happening, because, that's the last thing you want to do is miss Mom's Day.
Exactly.
Memorial Day tends to have some good deals as well as Mom's Day. When we come back, Marilyn Morris is going to show us some of the best finds for the month of May. Good sales month.
Yes. And as we head to break, we want to say thank you to all of our educators and happy Teacher Appreciation Day. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt endorsed National Teacher Day back in 1953 as a way to honor teachers, and the National Parent-Teacher Association established the entire first full week of May as National Teacher Appreciation Week. So that gives you several days to say thank you to all the teachers for their dedication to educating us all. We're going to be right back.
Welcome back, 9:13. Back to that deadly highway pileup in the Midwest that we mentioned at 9 The first of 6 victims was identified overnight, an 88-year-old woman.
As ABC's Andrea Fuji reports, she was just one of 6 killed when a dust storm blinded drivers, unleashing chaos in Illinois.
It felt like a war zone.
This morning, witnesses are describing the chaotic scene along this interstate in Illinois, where a dust storm is blamed for a multiple vehicle pileup, resulting in at least 6 deaths and dozens of injuries.
Oh man, there's so many wrecked cars over here.
The pileup involving more than 70 cars, trucks, and tractor trailers.
We started to hear the booms from the gasoline tanks, and it was one right after the other.
One driver says she was driving toward the pileup when a motorcyclist warned her to stop after seeing the carnage ahead.
His motorcycle was covered with the dust. He was covered with the dust, and he said he had had to bust out a couple of windows in a lady's car to pull her out.
Cars and trucks were piled up on both the north and southbound lanes of Interstate 55, south of Springfield. The rare dust storm sweeping through central Illinois, leading to 0 visibility conditions. The National Weather Service says newly plowed farm fields contributed to all that dust.
Nothing in my 24-year career that I can recall having something as severe as this.
Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
That has got to be one weird feeling, driving through all that dust and not knowing what's on the other side.
Very scary.
Yeah.
You can see why there were a lot of accidents.
And it does happen this time of year in that area with all the farm fields, but visibility can go way down in those situations. And unfortunately, bad stuff happens like that.
Yes, it does.
We got good visibility.
Yeah. We do.
Yes.
See all those clouds in the sky?
We can certainly see them.
That's good for now.
A lot of them. And we have a lot of humidity. Humidity is here to stay for a while. And hopefully that does lead to some rain chances. Let's go outside and show you those clouds. We've got cloudy conditions. And 70 degrees at the airport, 71 Stinson, 70 Kelly, 70 at Randolph. Easterly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that's starting to bring in that, what already has brought in that deeper moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Look at the 24-hour dew point change. We're up 14 degrees with regards to the dew point since this time yesterday, up 25 degrees in Carrizo Springs, 16 in Rock Springs. So a big change when it comes to the added dew points and humidity. And I wish I could tell you that these numbers come down. They don't. In fact, they come up some, and we'll see dew points in the 70s by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is going to be fuel for some of those thunderstorms we've been talking about. It also brings in the low cloudiness, and we've got a ton of clouds out there right now. There's going to be some breaks here and there today, and I think the sun pops out this afternoon, but throughout the morning, it will be cloudy, and that'll keep temperatures down just a little bit. 69 in New Braunfels, 68 Gonzales, 70 in Kennedy, 74 Cotulla, 64 right now in Rock Springs, and right around 70 here in San Antonio. In the forecast temperature for today, I expect those numbers to rise up into the 80s. We'll go 82 for a high here in town. Where there's sun, temperatures will probably be a little bit warmer, but it's hard to predict exactly where we'll see some of those holes develop in the clouds. But where we do, you'll likely jump into the mid-80s a little bit later this afternoon. So here's a look at the water vapor, and we've got sort of an interesting pattern taking shape here across the country. Low pressure over the Great Lakes, just kind of sitting there. And then another area of low pressure off the west coast. This is kind of a blocking pattern. Everything's kind of stuck for now. But we will see a few changes even here in Texas, and that's because this low will drop south, and we'll get more of a flow out of the southwest, out of Mexico. And a lot of times that can lead to the situation where we get isolated afternoon thunderstorms, and we have to watch what develops out to our west and see if that moves in our direction. And I think that's what's going to take shape as we get into Thursday. So today, by maybe late this afternoon, this evening, you'll notice some storms out west, but nothing that really makes it here. Same story on Wednesday. This is 4 p.m. Most of the activities out across West Texas and parts of Mexico. But Thursday is a little different. We get a disturbance rolling out of Mexico, and we'll start to bring rain chances up out west by Thursday afternoon. This one's to bring a cluster of storms into San Antonio by Thursday night. Is this how it will unfold? Probably not. The models never have a great handle on this, but this gives us a general idea that thunderstorms are possible, and we may see a cluster work towards San Antonio by Thursday night. Something to watch. Severe weather would be a possibility just based on how the atmosphere is set up, and so we do need to watch for that, and that would continue to progress east. And I think even on Friday we have a chance for strong storms once again. This is a severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center on Thursday, and it does show parts of our area within the scattered risk, and that would be mainly our western counties. But again, I think as these storms progress east, that could affect places like San Antonio Thursday night. So 83 tomorrow, 84 Thursday, 87 Friday, 88 Saturday, anywhere in that range where you see 30 to 40% chance of storms. There could be some strong to severe storms possible. It's just hard to pinpoint exactly when and where. We'll still see some small rain chances even going into early next week. So kind of a springtime pattern taking shape.
We like it.
You like it?
We need a little rain here.
The rain.
We do. Rain, no severe weather. We'll see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
What day is Mother's Day?
May 14th.
You can't cheat like that. You got to know that off the top of your head. Hugs and phone calls are always welcome from Mom, but a little something else doesn't hurt either.
That's right. 12 on your sides. Marilyn Moore shows us where the deals are for Mom or yourself during the month of May.
May means warm weather and hot sales with two major holidays.
Early this month, look for Mother's Day sales on tech devices like smartwatches and fitness trackers.
Consumer Reports tracks prices on top products all year to know when's the best time to buy. You can surprise Mom with something she can groove to all summer. This Ultimate Ears Mega Boom Bluetooth speaker is $163.98 at Amazon. That's $36 off. If she's into feeling the burn, a fitness tracker's handy. The Fitbit Luxe is marked down to $89.95 at several retailers, including Abt Electronics, Amazon, and Best Buy. This test shows it lives up to its water immersion claim.
Memorial Day is one of the biggest sale weekends of the year. Once we get a little bit closer to the middle of the month, start searching for sales on that refrigerator or mattress you've had your eye on. You're bound to find savings that'll be worth the wait.
And bonus, Memorial Day weekend, you pay no sales tax on many appliances that save energy and water. While you wait, get ready for backyard entertaining. This Monument gas grill is $679, $70 off at Wayfair. It's one of the highest scoring gas grills in Consumer Reports ratings. And here's a deal on a top-rated blender. The Vitamix One is $149.95 at Wayfair, nearly $50 saved. It's great at making smoothies, a healthy way to start the month. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
9:21, 70 degrees.
Last night was fashion's biggest night of the year, the Met Gala. When we come back, highlights from the star-studded night and who the event paid tribute to.
And let's take you back out to this overturned 18-wheeler. It's on its side. That's at I-35 and Psalms Road. That's on the access road going north. So if you're headed that direction, you might want to avoid that area. You can see King Kong has arrived, trying to figure out how to get that truck uprighted and see if they can get that thing out of there, but it's going to take a little bit. So Stephen Cavazos will be back here in a few minutes to have some more details for us on just exactly what's happening in that area of town. But you can see, not good right now. We'll be back. Last night, one of the biggest nights of the year for A-listers, the Met Gala, some place that you and I probably will never go. Is that right?
No, we can just watch from afar.
Because we can't dress like that?
No, we can't afford it.
We can't, oh, that's why, because we can't afford that. But we're just simple people. This year's theme was a tribute to late designer Karl Lagerfeld.
Well, as ABC's Will Gans reports, Nicole Kidman reached way back into her closet for her Lagerfeld-designed Chanel gown from 2004, and that was just the start.
At fashion's biggest night, the cat is out of the bag. Mr. Leto! This year's theme, an homage to the late Karl Lagerfeld, known for his signature black and white designs. Janelle Monáe in head-to-toe black and white. Kristen Stewart, Vanessa Hudgens, and Jenna Ortega sticking to that color scheme too. Gisele Bündchen in all white for her first time back to the Met Gala as a single lady. And our own Rhiannon Alley, gorgeous in all black. Lagerfeld also known for his pearls. Serena Williams sporting her own on the carpet. Lizzo too. And Kim Kardashian wearing 50,000 freshwater pearls. Her dress took its makers 1,000 hours to complete. But this year's most show-stopping moments inspired by Karl Lagerfeld's beloved cat, Chopette. Chloe Fineman carrying a cat clutch. Doja Cat transforming her own face to look like her namesake animal. And Lil Nas X fully feline, a bedazzled cat to the tip of his whiskers. And Jared Leto dressed up as Chopette herself. The cat, however, officially declining her invites to the Met Gala on Instagram Monday, writing in part that she preferred to stay peacefully and cozy at home. We pay tribute to my daddy every day since his parting, and we are very moved to see one more day dedicated to him. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
So what do you think?
I'm with the cat. Just stay home. But you were like excited about some of the outfits. You could very well fit in some of those.
You're so kind. They look gorgeous. Yeah, it's a very interesting. But some of them are very interesting.
Can you rent that?
It's like probably very expensive stuff.
Like a year's worth of rent?
Probably.
One night?
very expensive. And even the cat costume, I'm sure, was expensive as well. Yeah.
You look good in it, so maybe one day
David.
We'll figure out how to get you there.
Yeah, we can dream. We can dream.
Write him a letter or something. Special guest.
Please accept me.
Stephanie Cerna. 928, 70 degrees.
There's more ahead on GMSA at 9. Including the story of a little-known historic marker at Fort Sam Houston dedicated to the Pershing Chinese in honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
And how health officials are making sure everyone knows how to use Narcan properly in order to save people from an opioid overdose.
And as we head to break, there's still that mess over there at I-35 at Psalms Road. We're going to be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos after the break.
All right, time on your clock, 9:31. Let's get a look at the incident that is taking place here at 35 at Salms Road. Wide look does show that we do have a King Kong truck out there working to overturn this 18-wheeler. This all happened just before 9 a.m. And you can see it's there along the access road. Now, no word yet on any injuries. It doesn't seem to be the case because we've not spotted any paramedics out there. But we do have New Braunfels police that are on the scene working to investigate, including crews that have an absorbent that you could see they're walking over right now because there was some sort of spill. No word yet exactly if that was diesel or anything that the truck was carrying, but nonetheless, you want to avoid this area because the access road has been shut down. Not a good sign, but even though we do have a King Kong truck out there to help resolve things, we are still seeing some issues out there. So again, the access road shut down there at 35 at Salms Road. Northbound lanes are going to be a little bit problematic for some folks. So just avoid the area. We're going to continue to watch that closely if you are traveling to New Braunfels. But back here in town, things have stayed quiet. And thankfully, a lot of green out there. Still plenty of construction that is taking place, but none of it seems to be impacting the commutes. That could be because a lot of kids are already at school and a lot of folks may be staying home, or some of us are probably already at work. But let's get one last look here and let's hope for a better update before the show wraps up. Could be a little while, but we're going to watch it very closely. And if any update happens, we'll be sure to let you know about it, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Let's look out there with live cam. A little warmer as the day goes by. We're now at 70 degrees, but we are expecting that humidity to come in full force this week.
We barely made it into the 60s this morning, just to give you some sort of idea there. It's so much humidity. It keeps temperatures up in the mornings, and the afternoons will be pretty muggy too. You know the drill. Let me show you a picture here on KSAT Connect. This just came in a little while ago. It shows sunrise with the low cloudiness, the sun trying to peek through, and we'll get more peaks of sun as the day wears on. That will allow temperatures to make their way up into the 80s this afternoon. The radar does reveal a couple of showers too. We're watching some very light showers making their way near Pearsall into Frio County there, working north and east. Few light sprinkles or light showers can't be ruled out today. This is not going to fill up the rain gauge by any stretch of the imagination, but a few sprinkles there around Pearsall possible here next 15 minutes or so. Cloudy this morning, mostly cloudy this afternoon. We top out at 82 with that 10% chance of a shower. We'll take those rain chances and we'll up them quite a bit as we head into Thursday, and this time it'll be in the form of thunderstorms. More on that forecast in just a bit, guys.
Thank you, Justin. By now, you've probably heard about Narcan, a medicine that can reverse an opioid overdose. But part of its ability to save lives depends on people knowing how to use it.
That's why the UT Health San Antonio School of Nursing has been training people all over the state on how to use Narcan properly. As Courtney Friedman tells us, what was once a COVID drawback has now become a key part of training hard-to-reach communities.
You suspect that someone has overdosed. A 3-minute video of simplistic stick figures is saving lives across Texas. It's part of a training by UT Health San Antonio School of Nursing on opioid overdose prevention with the use of naloxone or Narcan.
Administer a dose of the nasal naloxone in one of the nostrils, and it may take a couple minutes.
In 2018, it started in person, but as COVID forced virtual sessions, it allowed far more people to participate.
Communities we've not been able to reach in the past, so rural communities, some of the tribal nations. We've reached a lot of counties that have what's considered to be mental health care provider shortage areas.
UT Health Associate Professor Dr. Lisa Cleveland leads the training. The virtual sessions alone have now reached almost half of all Texas counties, including every county that had previously reported opioid overdose deaths. The program has also sent Narcan to 73% of all Texas counties.
Now we regularly have 300, 400 people in a training, and so it's really expanded our reach a lot.
And those are not just medical professionals. Many are from schools.
A 500% increase over the past year of folks who work in schools who have been engaging in our training.
There are also members of the general public taking training so they can be prepared.
All of these boxes stacked at the School of Nursing have these individual Narcan sprays inside of them. For the bigger orders for the schools and medical centers, the company ships it directly to them, but these boxes go to people in the community who want it at their home.
Dr. Cleveland hopes to break the stigma that keeps people from carrying Narcan and says you can have it anonymously sent to your home or work. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
If you want to order Narcan or learn about the training, head to morenarcanplease.com or the UT Health San Antonio School of Nursing website. The training is offered in both English and Spanish.
To start off Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we are sharing the story of a little-known historic marker at Fort Sam Houston dedicated to the Pershing Chinese. Now, in 1917, General John J. Pershing brought more than 400 Chinese to Fort Sam Houston. They would go on to help the U.S. Army in Pershing's failed pursuit of Pancho Villa after his notorious raid on Columbus, New Mexico. In this history untold story, Jesse Degollado talks to some of their descendants.
That's my mother. Josefina Dong's mother from Mexico met her husband from China in a San Antonio boarding house. He'd also been in Mexico among the Chinese who risked their lives helping the U.S. Army.
Yes, because Pancho Villa was killing them. There's a picture of Chinese men hung at the railroad station.
While many had already fled Mexico however they could, this vacant plot of land at Fort Sam Houston was the camp where more than 400 of Pershing's Chinese lived under the protection of the U.S. Army, including Josefina Dong's father, but he rarely talked about the past.
They don't talk about something that's, that's not a happy thing.
Yet once here, it said they cleared land for Kelly Field and Camp Stanley ahead of World War I. What's on the historic marker is more than Christina Liu ever knew about her great-great-grandfather, other than what was in a school textbook.
But it was just like a short little paragraph about General Pershing, nothing about Pershing Chinese.
We don't learn about this in history.
Out of their very meager beginnings, they've given us priceless opportunities for us to do better.
Amid the headstones, unlike all the others at Mission Park South,
many of those laid to rest here are Pershing Chinese who wanted to be buried near one another, united in life and death by their amazing journey.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Time now, 9:38 and 70 degrees for now.
You are watching GMSA at 9. Coming up, American Idol is now down to its top 8 after a surprising save last night. We'll share a recap ahead.
Hey, welcome back. It's 9:42. Not too bad out there, but we know it's going to get a little warmer today, more so than yesterday afternoon.
We're just kind of building up. We're getting ready for summer. That's the way I look at it. It's like a primer.
We don't need last May's pre-summer though. We don't need that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the problem with last May is we didn't get the rain we'd hoped for, and that led into a dry summer, which is just a bad thing. So I think we're okay with the heat as long as we get some periodic rain chances, and we do have some in the forecast, so that's good. We actually have some rain out there right now, guys, on radar. We can see a few showers down near Pearsall. All of this is pretty light, and I don't know that this will even make it up to San Antonio, but we are going to see a few showers here and there passing by today. Nothing more than a few sprinkles. Rain chances are at 10%, but we are detecting a little bit of that on radar. And as we look at the bigger picture here, you can see we've got some of these little areas of showers here and there. Again, all of this is pretty light, and some of it may not even be reaching the ground, but it's certainly bringing some clouds with it, and this all has to do with the moisture. Look at these dew points, 70 in Corpus Christi, now 66 here in San Antonio, so we are now in the muggy territory, and this number only goes up from here, so it gets even worse going forward. Outside, 70 degrees and cloudy, easterly winds at about 7 miles per hour. No peaks of sun yet. I do think we'll see some today as we head into the afternoon, and we're starting to see a few here and there. South of Pleasanton, where we showed you some of those showers are, right behind the showers, seeing a little bit of clearing right around Beeville, and then maybe a few breaks up around Rock Springs. Otherwise, everyone else is looking at overcast skies. 71 Victoria, 71 Kennedy, 69 in Kerrville, 72 right now in Carrizo Springs, and right around 70 degrees here in San Antonio. Forecast for today takes us up to 75 noontime with some peaks of sun that should get us into the low 80s with that very, very small chance of rain, and then back down into the 70s tonight, 79 at 8 o'clock, 77 at 9 p.m. And you're just not going to see much variation between the morning low and the morning afternoon high. Temperatures do try to build, though, as we head into the weekend, closing in on 90 degrees by Sunday and Monday, which is above average. We're right at about average right now, but we'll start going above average. And again, there's no fronts in sight, so as long as that is the case, you'll see these temperatures kind of continue to grow a little bit. Here's our current setup. We've got a low off the coast of California, and out ahead of that we have flow out of the south and west. This is always a tricky forecast when we get southwesterly flow. We get these little disturbances that work through, but it's hard to time them out, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly where we'll see rain. But we do know that this can lead to some thunderstorms. And today we'll see some thunderstorms out across parts of West Texas. Nothing here, though. And I think that's the case tomorrow. We always have to watch for these storms that form in Mexico. Some of them can make their way towards Del Rio. Tomorrow and Wednesday, that's a possibility, but no rain here in San Antonio. That changes Thursday. We got a little better disturbance in that flow that works through, and it creates a cluster of storms, or at least that's the general idea, and it wants to move these storms towards San Antonio by the evening hours on Thursday. If this were to happen, we could see some severe weather, especially initially out west, but also some heavy rain, depending on the speed of this. So that'll be something to watch as we get into Thursday night into early Friday morning. Details still need to be worked out, but we do know the risk for severe weather is there, especially west of San Antonio, scattered risk, and basically that includes all of those counties west of I-35. Here's the extended forecast: 83 Wednesday, 84 Thursday, 87 Friday. There you see the storm chances. We'll put 30% in Friday and Saturday. It's one of those situations where if we can get storms to develop, then they would quickly become strong, and we may also see a few more small rain chances as we get into Sunday and Monday, guys.
All right. Well, a hot weekend. Thanks, Justin.
Yes.
Pretty exciting for American Idol fans. Named its top 7 last night, but in a surprise twist, the judges got to save one of the 3 eliminated contestants.
So it's a top 8 for now, and as ABC's George Pinocchio shares what happened after the show.
The top 10 and it can be a great springboard for your confidence if you can survive the gauntlet of Idol.
3 singers were eliminated, but with an unexpected judges save, one was suddenly back in the game. The 2 going home are only looking ahead.
I can't wait to get home and head to Nashville and start writing my music and putting it out.
I can't wait to just keep working on my music, and I actually have an EP right now as well.
For those who remain, it's right back to work. Lionel Richie and Katy Perry won't be in their judges' seats because they'll be in England performing at the Royal Coronation. Sitting in, Ed Sheeran and Alanis Morissette.
It's going to be great for the show. Number 2 is going to be incredible for the kids. We're excited to host, 2 new people to our show who are incredible. And I have to tell you, there'll be some unexpected moments just like there was tonight.
The top 8 will all be singing Morissette songs and duetting on Sheeran songs. Are you in or out of your comfort zone with these 2 performers?
With Ed Sheeran, I feel like we're closer to in. With Alanis Morissette, straight up all of us are out of our comfort zones.
But for the singer the judges saved...
First song I ever learned on a guitar was an Ed Sheeran song. He's one of the 4 musicians in my life that's made the most impact on me.
Katie's consolation prize for being away.
I'll be grateful to be sitting in the same seat, absorbing their booty DNA, I don't know, afterwards. Don't wipe the seat.
The remaining 8 Idol hopefuls perform again on Sunday night, and by the end of that show, we'll be down to our top 5. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
It is now 9:48, 71 degrees.
And when we come back, a look at some of the new movies coming to theaters this month.
Plus, a startling surprise for one school principal after he went to unlock a dumpster. We'll show you what he found inside when we come back. Summer movie season is here, and a trio of potential blockbusters among movies arriving into theaters this month.
CNN's Rick Domadilla gives us a preview of those movies.
Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians. Met a girl. Fell in love.
Star-Lord and his team of misfit heroes are back in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The final chapter in the Guardians trilogy flies into theaters May 5th.
Hello, you've reached the home of the retired and gifted. Where are you? I'm in a church. What? Are you serious? We're looking for a venue for the wedding.
The Book Club ladies are back and heading to Italy. The nuptials commence when Book Club The Next Chapter arrives in theaters May 12th. Vin Diesel, fast cars, edge-of-your-seat action, Jason Momoa as a bad guy? You may want to skip the giant soda so you don't miss a moment when Fast X races into theaters May 19th.
Something about you seems different. I can't quite figure it out.
She got legs, you idiot.
And lighting, wardrobe, a makeup trailer, all the things needed when turning an animated classic into live action. Film fans can be part of her world when The Little Mermaid swims into theaters May 26th. Getting reserved seats now in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
All right, guys, we are back, and we are taking a look here at TransGuide with the overturned 18-wheeler that was reported along I-35 northbound. Remember, that access road is still closed at this time. Now, the good news here is that we do have a King Kong wrecker out there on the scene to get things upright, but it could take a little while. In fact, it looks like we may be bringing another one in from this TransGuide camera. You got to watch out here because, again, this is along the access road. Remember, it's closed. As you approach New Braunfels, you'll see that exit to Salms Road blocked off at this time. No word yet on any injuries, and I don't think that's the case because we haven't seen any paramedics arrive to the scene. But still, you got to watch out and make sure you give the first responders plenty of room. You notice that white substance that we've been pointing out on the screen that appears to be an absorbent, so there may have been some sort of spill. No word yet, again, on exactly what that spill was. But again, 35 northbound access road, just avoid that area as you approach New Braunfels. You'll see a little bit of a delay, but the good news is we have folks on the scene working to clear this mess up. No word yet how long it will take, though, Justin.
As we go outside for you, 71 degrees right now. We've got 82 this afternoon, mostly cloudy. A couple of warm, humid days, and then eventually we'll take some of that warmth and humidity and turn it into some thunderstorms by Thursday and Friday. Right now, Thursday looks to be our best chance. We could see some strong storms. Not everybody's going to see rain, but at least there are some chances there. We keep that going right on into next week as temperatures near 90 by the weekend.
All right, one more story before we go because our producer knows how much we all love bear stories.
Yes.
It's almost been unbearable how long it's been since we've had a bear story.
Unbearable?
Unbearable. Principal in West Virginia unlocked a dumpster. He and another school employee got a quick shot. Oh, it's a bear!
Oh, my goodness.
Jumped right out of there.
That was a big surprise. I was not expecting that. You know, you throw trash in a dumpster and you throw things in it, but you really don't expect things to come out.
Well, that bear did. The principal said the bear must have trapped itself inside the dumpster after squeezing in for a snack. Bears are always looking for something to eat.
He's healthy, though.
Yeah, he made a run for the woods. Fortunately, no one was hurt. We don't know where the bear is, though.
Hopefully he got his snack, though.
Okay, you hear that? You hear that noise out there?
We have visitors. There you go. Say hi, guys. So these are students from the San Antonio Academy. Thank you for joining us this morning and being some good visitors and entertaining us.
Great moves.
So say hi to your mom.
Right here.
Say hi to your mom and dad.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
This is a kinder class, correct?
Yeah.
Kinder class. All right. Well, you guys have a great time visiting KSAT, and y'all have a good day.